In an office, shows Jan Hooks in a dress with her feet up on a desk, smoking a cigar. John Belushi over the intercom says, "Miss Power?" Hooks, "What is it, Sugar Nuts?" Belushi, "The applicants for the 2 new positions are here to see you." Hooks, "All right, hot buns. Send in the real candidate first, and then I'll have fun with the eye candy." Gilda Radner walks in wearing a pantsuit. Hooks puts her feet down, gets up, and shakes Radner's hand while she says, "Welcome aboard." Radner, "You mean I already got the job?" Hooks, "I have 2 spots, 3 applicants. I need 1 serious candidate, and your resume, I'm guessing, fits the bill. But for my second choice, I'm looking for a piece of ass. But you're good to go." Radner, "Oh, great." Hooks, "So just go talk to Sugar Balls out there, and he'll help you with the paperwork." As Radner leaves, Hooks presses the intercom button and says, "Come, dispenser, get in here." Belushi nervously enters and asks, "Yes, boss?" Hooks puts her feet back up on the desk and says, "How do my pieces of ass look out there?" Belushi, "Well, one's kind of heavy set, but the other looks to be in good shape." Hooks, "Is that right? Do you think your dick would get more shriveled with the good-looking one? Or do you want me to hire another fatso? I love baddies. Usually means they got a fat dick." Belushi, I'm not sure, boss." Hooks, "Before you send in the one who's in shape, why don't you clean me out?" Belushi, "Yes, boss." Belushi kneels in between Hooks' legs. Hooks, "Ooh, ah, oh, right there. Oh boy." Belushi stands up, wipes off his face with a towel from his pocket and says, "Should I send in the next applicant?" Hooks, "You got it, Sparky." As Belushi leaves, Phil Hartman enters in a 3-piece suit and says, "Pleasure to meet you, Miss Power. I'm Jack Offerman." Hooks, "Sit down and shut up." Hartman gives a quizzical look and sits down. Hooks, "You married?" Hartman, "No, but I have a girlfriend." Hooks, "But you mess around, right?" Hartman, "Excuse me?" Hooks, "I'm not hiring any prudes here, Offerman. Are you willing to get hard and do some dirty work?" Hartman, "Well, I'm ready to crunch the numbers, as my understanding is this is an accounting position." Hooks, "Beat it." Hartman, "You want me to leave? The interview just started." Hooks, "No, beat your meat. Let me see what you're working with." Hartman, "I think that's a highly inappropriate thing to..." Hooks gets on the intercom and says, "Sugar Plums, remove the ass from my office. He won't jack off." Hartman, "It's actually Jack Offerman." Belushi enters and escorts Hartman from the office. Belushi, "Do you want me to send in the last applicant?" Hooks, "You got it, Carpet Muncher." As Belushi exits, Chris Farley enters in a ragged suit and appears very nervous. Hooks laughs and says, "Sit, Tubby." Farley sits down quickly. Hooks gets up from her desk and asks, "So what's your name?" Farley, "Corey Cunnilingus." Hooks laughs and says, "Corey Cunnilingus, huh? What an adorable name. Strip down for me, Cunnilingus." Farley gets up and removes his clothing. Hooks, "You're a grower and not a shower, right?" Farley, "Yes, ma'am." Hooks, "And do you know how to treat a lady downtown?" Farley, "You mean like opening doors for them and stuff?" Hooks, "No, dummy, like your last name." Farley, spreads her legs and says, "Tell you what, Corey, if you live up to your surname, you got the job. You ready to treat me to some oral?" Farley, "Oh boy, I don't know, Miss Power. I'm married." Hooks, "Do you want the job or don't you?" Farley sighs and walks over in between Hooks' legs. Hooks, "Ow, Jesus! What the hell are you doing?" As Farley pokes his head up, Hooks shoves him back down and says, "I didn't tell you to stop." As Farley continues, Hooks says, "There you go. Belushi enters and says, "Miss Power, your husband called and said he'll be back from his vacation tomorrow. He wants you to leave his office after you hire the new employees." Farley pokes his drenched head up and asks, "Wait, am I going to have to do this for your husband?" Hooks shoves his face back down and says, "Less talking and more eating, honey. And dead from the earth, we're not alive." It's Saturday Night Alive, starring John Belushi, Chris Farley, Phil Hartman, Jen Hooks, Norm MacDonald, Gilda Radner, Danitra Vance, and many other special deceased contributors. Musical guest, the Monkees, and your host, Kurt Vonnegut. Everybody, Kurt Vonnegut. Applause, applause, applause. Vonnegut. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I was an American writer known for my satirical and darkly humorous novels. In a career spanning over 50 years, I published 14 novels, including Cat's Cradle, Breakfast of Champions, The Sirens of Titan, and Slaughterhouse-Five, as well as 3 short story collections, 5 plays, and 5 nonfiction works. Applause, applause, applause. Vonnegut, thank you. And now I'd like to say rest in peace to a few people who died recently. Cliff Emmett, an American film, stage, and television actor who appeared in over 90 films and television programs, and is perhaps best known for playing the character of Chicago in the 1973 film Payday. Brad William Hankey, an American actor, a National Football League and Arena Football League player. He is best known for his role as Corrections Officer Desi Piscatella on Orange is the New Black, for which he won the Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by an Ensemble in a Comedy Series in 2016. David Robinson, the right-hand man of Dog the Bounty Hunter on the show Dogs Most Wanted. And Noodle the Pug, the canine of viral TikTok fame. Emmett, Hankey, Robinson, and Noodle all come out. Applause, applause, applause. Vonnegut. Okay, and now they're telling me they want me to do the names of all the other non-famous people who have also died in the last few days. Adam Apple, who didn't have an Adam's apple, having previously transitioned. Benny Beaver, who despite his name was a homosexual. Connie Carruthers, who didn't prefer white men, but instead brothers. Denny Dickman, who was like a superhero to his many girlfriends. Elvis Etienne, who hated rock music. Frank Fox, who preferred CNN. Gerda Gershwin, who had recently burnt her Kanye CDs for her grandson, who tried to explain to her about streaming music. Harry Harrison, who suffered from alopecia. Gary Gunn, an avid proponent of abolishing the Second Amendment. Ivan Ivey, who unfortunately was poisoned. Jenny Johnson, son of John Johnson, who himself was a junior. Carrie Kane, who was very able, albeit vain. Larry Longfellow, who was quite short. Malachi McMurphy, who always went to Mass with his lucky bottle of Jameson. Nancy Nutcracker, who never married. Orson Orwell, born in 1984 and loved his rosebud. Percy Piper, who was a pipe fitter. Kadir Quinn, an Irishman who joined Al-Qaeda. Randy Redmond, whose favorite color was blue. Sandy Struthers, who unfortunately was killed by her older brothers. Tommy Thomas, who preferred to be called Thomas Squared. Ursula Ullman, who hated Tracy. Vinnie Vonnegut, no relation. Not after his god-awful Thanksgiving toast, anyway. William Williamson, Jr., who also had a son named William. Xander Xavier, who was known to mark his spots. Yolanda York, who was an infant and therefore was a New York. Zenith Zucker, who loved the movie Airplane. Okay, folks, there's still a few thousand names to go. People are dying all the time. So it goes. As soon as I finish, though, well, the great show for you tonight. The Monkees are here. I'm a believer, because backstage they kept saying, hey, hey, we're the Monkees. We'll be right back.